Hey, friends. Hey. My goodness, it's been a minute, y'all. But listen, let's go ahead and get this party started. Get myself together here. All right. Let's go ahead and get this party started. It has been a minute, but I have a word that I would like to share. And I said what I won't do is end the day without saying what I gotta say. Okay. So, hey friends, it is your girl, Coach Tuka. I am your weight loss accountability bestie. All right. And I am the creator of Ready Set Habits, a habits-based weight loss community. And today I want to talk about something that has been coming up over and over and over and over again. Let me fix my hair, y'all. Fix this hair. Over and over and over again, as I have been talking to people. Yeah, I've been on these streets working, okay? So as you come in the room, I want you to tell me, where are you listening from? Where are you listening from? I want to talk about something today that I know I cannot have been the only person that has dealt with this when it comes to losing weight. And that thing is being frustrated. All right. I've been there. I know I'm telling y'all, I only can come here and tell you these things and say it with my chest because I've been there. I know what it's like to be putting in the work, thinking you're doing the things. Okay. You are doing the best you can with what you have. And in your mind, you think this is the thing that's supposed to lead you to the thing that you've been working to do. Doing all the things and not being able to see any fruit, any results. All right. And that can start to weigh on you. All right. It can make you a little irritated. And that's the feeling I want to talk about. That feeling is known as frustration. Okay. And not only does frustration make you feel some type of way, not only does it make you get in your feelings, okay, it starts to affect how you make decisions. So I know for a fact that I'm going to have to break this up into three parts, okay? Because as I wrote down in my notes, I said, okay, let me just write down all the things that frustration will lead to on your weight loss journey. And I came up with 7 things. And I said, if I really started to dig into these properly, we would be here until tomorrow. And I don't want that. And I also don't want to overwhelm you with so much information. So I said, let me just break this down into, like, I'm thinking 3 different videos. Okay. So today I'm going to give you just three of the things. So not only does being frustrated affect the way you make decisions when it comes to your weight loss, but it'll make you choose the wrong decisions. It'll make you give up and quit. It'll even make you feel like you will do some things that will harm you in ways that cannot be undone. All right. So I just want to encourage you today. That's really my mission and what I would like to do. I want to encourage you to let you know that just because you are frustrated, all right, does not mean that you got to stay stuck where you are. Okay. You don't have to stay stuck where you are just because it's a little difficult and it's a little frustrating. You actually have the ability inside of you to change what outcome you receive from the work that you're doing. And so today I want to show you how frustration works against you and how you can make a change, like flip the tables so you can keep making progress and lose the weight that you've been wanting to lose. So stay with me because we're going to go into the first 3 ways that frustration shows up. But not only do I want to tell you the 3 ways, I want to tell you what you can do about it. So I'm going to give you each of these ways. And then I want you to know, like, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be a victim. All right. Um, so I'm gonna tell you what to do when it shows up, because I don't want to say if it shows up, because I know we all experience it. Okay. So here's the first point that I want to make. The first thing that frustration does is I thought about, what does frustration make you do? Being frustrated with the work that you have done and the results that you don't see will make you choose the wrong options. It will make you do some things out of desperation, hoping that you can get some results. So when you look up the word desperation, it says a feeling. It's a feeling uh, of being, it said, like, hopeless, that a situation is so bad that it is impossible to be dealt with. And I said, my. That is a difficult place to be. But when you are frustrated and you have tried and you tried and tried and tried again, the thing that sounds wild, like the thing that you would never do, all of a sudden that thing starts to sound like a good idea because you are now desperate. So I'm about to talk to you about some things that only a desperate person will do. Desperation will make you do some wild and crazy things that don't even line up with who you are or who you want. So, who you want to be. So, think about it. How many times have you been so frustrated with losing weight, and then somebody introduced you to something that seemed like a quick way to do it, and all of a sudden that thing, that quickest thing possible, lose 75 pounds in 3 weeks, sounded like a great idea, right? This is how, so the reason I'm telling you this, because this is how people end up choosing things like pills, shots, these extreme diets where you're all the way on and very, very restricted, not eating at all, only eating one thing, starving themselves, all because there was this desperation for something to happen on the scale. And I'm like, but why though? Not because I haven't done it. Let me be clear. Not because I haven't done the very same thing. All right. But it is because desperation will have you feel like it's a lie, and it will have you believing that taking this route that seems like the quick way or the fast way is going to get you to the objective or the outcome quicker. But in reality, what happens is these desperate decisions like injections and pills and crash diets and only eating one thing, they really just make you kind of go in this little loop where you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know, you lose 5 pounds here, right? And then you gain 7 pounds back. And then you're even more frustrated than you were before because now you're heavier than where you started. And then you say, okay, I'm gonna get myself together. Let me start over one more time. Okay, I'm gonna start over. Okay, okay, okay. And then you lose 10 pounds and you gain 15. All right. So this is why the feeling of frustration is so dangerous, because it doesn't just make you feel like you're never going to make progress. It makes you feel somebody who forgot who they are. It makes you feel like somebody who forgot that they actually have ability, that they're actually capable. All right. So desperate decisions are a setup. All right. So you don't have to move from a place of desperation. This is in weight loss, but this is also in your life. I'm thinking of some of the desperate things that I did. And I remember one of the things that I did was something called the cabbage soup diet. Okay. And to the desperate person, only a desperate person would do this. Okay. Only a desperate person would go to the store, buy cabbage. I think it had a tomato base. If you've done it with me, you know what I'm talking about. It had some carrots in there. I think there were celery was in there. There were some onions in there. I think there was like some chicken broth, and you could eat as much of this cabbage soup as you wanted. Okay. And baby, did I lose weight? Oh, I did. Okay. And she did. I never forget it. It was the summer between my freshman and sophomore year in college. I come back to school, and baby, can't nobody tell me nothing. Okay. Sis knows she cute. Okay. I'm like a size 9. At that time, I was like a 9. Okay. It's 9, something like that. Could nobody tell me nothing. 9, I think there's 9, 10. I think somebody told me there was like a junior size. All right. Could nobody tell me nothing. I got back to school with these coordinated outfits and the new shoes to match. And this was when we used to wear the little clips, in the 90s. Okay. I'm aging myself. We wore the little clips, where you could pin your hair back and they had the little rhinestones on it. We was wearing the little chopsticks in our hair. You remember that? Could nobody tell me nothing, baby? You cannot tell me I wasn't cute. And I'm telling you, it didn't take but 2.9 meals. Like 2.9 meals for me to gain every bit of my weight back. Every bit. And can I tell you, that had to be in 1996. I never saw that size again for another 30 years. I kid you not. Another 30 years. Okay. I did some yo-yoing, but I never returned to that place again. And I just kept going around and around. So then it was the Weight Watchers, the counting the points, okay? Then it was some shake, pick a shake, okay? Then and it was just all these things, all right? And so what I'm trying to get you to see is if you're here, especially if you're at the beginning of this cycle, I'm letting you know it's going to be a cycle that you're just going to keep going round and round and round and round and round. So what I want to say to that person is you have what it takes. You already have everything you need. You don't have to keep grabbing things out of desperation because you're frustrated and you feel like, okay, this thing is going to be the thing that's going to hurry up and help me to lose 45 pounds by tomorrow. All right. So when you get in this desperate place, what happens is because the frustration has made you so desperate, when you get to the place that nothing is happening, nothing looks like the way you thought it was going to look, then you say, you know what? I'm just going to eat this because I'm tired. I'm tired of trying. I might as well not even try. All right. So I am letting you know that in your frustration, all right, and I'm going to tell you what frustration is in a minute, and I'm going to tell you why you don't have to be frustrated. But in your frustration, what we allow to happen is we allow it to make us feel a desperation to do anything to get what we want. And even as I say it, that doesn't sound like something that God would want for you. All right. The second thing this feeling of frustration makes you do is it makes you shut down, it makes you stop. All right. So we will see frustration and weight loss when we say, you know what? I quit. Okay. Only a frustrated person will do that. When you are frustrated, you say, okay, what is the point? Forget it, man. I'm just gonna start over on Monday. The frustration is what makes you say, you know what, let me just go and finish this row of cookies or this last corner of the ice cream or this last, bag, half a bag of chips, and I'm gonna just start over on Monday. So what you do is you shut the whole thing down, like that's the solution. But why though? But why though? Okay. Stopping, when you stop, you don't feel less frustrated. Okay. It's not like you say, forget it, and then your frustration goes away. What happens when you end up stopping is you actually start to beat yourself up, which is worse than the frustration. All right. Now you start acting like all shameful, beating yourself up. Now you're ashamed. Now you're guilty. Now you're condemning yourself. So on top of being frustrated, you feel terrible about you. So that's making you feel worse than you already felt. All right. So it's not at that point, the frustration is no longer, I'm a little frustrated because I thought I was going to lose more pounds than this and that didn't happen. Now I'm frustrated because I have quit again. I have quit again. Here I am again, messing up again, stopping again, starting over again. And you know the wild part? The more you stop, the harder it is for you to even work up the energy, the intentionality, the belief that is worth it to start again. So every time you stop and you shut down and you say, forget it, I'm just going to start over. What you're doing is you are training yourself to now believe that quitting is an option that you have. And quitting is never going to get you what it is that you want. But you're training yourself to believe that I should just give up. I should quit. All right. So you don't have to stop. You don't have to throw the towel in. You don't have to throw the whole week away, throw the whole day away. You can gather yourself. Okay. You can take a breath. You can quiet the emotions and the wild and crazy thoughts in your head. You can start over. You can reset. And when I say start over, it doesn't mean start over after you've eaten, the whole pint of ice cream. All right. You can just take some time to read your word. You can take some time to get accountable to somebody who's going to check you. All right. You can't breathe, take a nap, but don't you dare quit. All right. So you are capable of continuing to keep moving forward, even when the moving forward doesn't look as fast as you want it to look. It might not look as fast as you want it to look, but baby, you're still moving forward. The forward is forward. Okay? Forward is forward. It's not backwards. All right? So the second thing that frustration does to you is it shuts you down. It makes you quit. and it just makes you give up and stop. And then now you're worse off. All right. The third thing, and this is the big, big, big one I want to talk about tonight. I'm gonna be here for a minute. Okay. It causes damage that cannot be undone. All right. It causes damage that cannot be undone. The first, I'm just going to go here first before I dig into where I really want to go. The first thing it does, things that are difficult to undo, is how much you trust yourself. It is very difficult to be confident in yourself and believe that you have integrity with you, that you believe that you're going to do what you said you're going to do. It becomes harder and harder to believe yourself. And it is very difficult to undo. Every time you stop, it just makes it harder to convince yourself and believe it, have enough of belief in yourself that I can do this again. I also want you to know that some of the damage that gets done is inside your body, in your health. All right. These crash extreme diets and pills and injections and the emotional eating can cause damage to your body that cannot be undone. So one that I was like, I don't always want to be talking about this, but I'm over it and I do want to talk about it. Okay. This doggone what's everybody on? They got so many different versions of it now. Yeah, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Wegovy. I saw one today, was called Skinny. Okay, these things they pop up online for me, so I know they popping up online for you in your timelines. All right. I am telling you that these things cause damage to your body that cannot be undone. So we just don't take Ozempic. People are saying it is tearing the gastrointestinal part of their body up. They're here having nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, just burping, gas, bloating, heartburn, indigestion. That's like one of the main things that people are experiencing that have taken this route. Some people have said they felt dizzy, they felt tired, that they had headaches, that they had changes in their taste. Them the common ones, all right? But then they got some that's not like everybody ain't getting it, but how many people need to get it for us to decide? Like, I don't know if I really want that. I done seen people saying pancreatitis, which is where you have inflammation in your pancreas, okay, is dangerous. Gallbladder problems was another one. Kidney function decline. They said people were having vision changes. So I was like, what would make them start to have? I mean, can you imagine losing your vision because you want to lose some weight? I mean, you might not get it, but these are reported effects that are attached to it. So you might not, but is it worth a chance? People have said they've had issues with their thyroids, their gallstones, and blockages in their stomach. Okay. I'm just like, what are we even doing? Hair loss was one I saw. I saw some stuff about the Ozempic face, and I saw they say your cheeks are sunken in. You got more lines and sagging and your facial skin. I was like, what? So you're gonna look older. Some people said, I read about some Ozempic teeth where because your mouth is dry, y'all. This blew me away, okay? Because your mouth is dry, it could lead to tooth decay, gum disease. I'm sure your breath ain't fresh. All right. Why would we want that? Why would we want that? And then, if that ain't enough for you, the fact that they are being sued out the wazoo right now. Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars, okay? So I know that seeing the scale not move the way you want it to move can be frustrating. But my encouragement to you today is to not allow these things, okay, to make you do something to your body that cannot be undone. And I know Ozempic is like the it's like the little salesman that's like leaning in, like, you want to lose some weight? I got you. I got you. All right. And it sounds good, but it's fake. It sounds good, but it's very fake. And so I'm saying that is a desperate, dangerous, and reckless decision. They're like, the lawsuits are like stacking up. I think there are like 2,000 claims in this lawsuit to date. And they are saying, I think I saw that it could be like $2 billion. And all I hear is 2,000 or $2 billion worth of people who were uh, so frustrated that they made a desperate decision that could cause them to make a choice that would harm them in a way that cannot be repaired. I feel like it's exploitation of people's pain. And so before I wouldn't talk about it because I was like, I don't want to demonize Ozempic. But then I prayed about it and I was like, but I do though. Because these are things, all those things I named, I know my Heavenly Father don't want us to have none of those. I know they don't want us to have none of those. Okay. So I'm just telling you, when you feel this way and you make desperate decisions, it doesn't push you in a direction that's going to lead to you being healed in a way that you can sustain for the rest of your life. Is literally leading you into a trap. The best example that I can think of, if you've ever seen this movie called The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and there's a scene in the movie where the two boys, I don't want to give a spoiler, but I am. Spoiler alert, if you want to watch The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, turn off right now. Come back later after you watched it, okay? But if you've already seen it, there's a scene in the movie where these two kids they form an unlikely friendship, and one's a son of a Nazi and one is a Jew, and they form this unlikely friendship. So they're coming together, and they have come into each other's world and thinking they're just gonna, buck the system that exists and be friends. And they actually end up getting led into this like gas chamber, thinking that they were being pushed, like funneled into it. This is what Ozempic looks like to me, funneling us into this trap. You understand what I'm saying? And people don't even know. It sounds all light and fuzzy, like let's take a shower, but it's really affecting people's lives. All right. And so I'm saying this is about your health. This is about your life, your future. All right. For Ozempic, this is about a couple of dollars. All right. And they might have had you thinking that it was like a savior, but it's not. It's not. So here's what I want you to know. If you are so frustrated, because I want to demonize Ozempic and not you. Okay. I'm coming for you to pull you out. If you think that I've been trying this for so long, I am so frustrated. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do it. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to lose the weight. I am telling you that God gave you the ability. You have the same power within you that raised Jesus from the dead. And you don't need some injection. You don't need some crazy pills, cabbage soup diets. Okay? You don't need those things to lose weight. All right. You don't need whatever the quick fix that you see online that looks like this is the thing that you should try. All right. So I just want you to know that you have the ability. Give me a second because I want to look up the definition of frustration. I told you I was going to tell you what it was. The definition of frustration Oh, I lost my definition. Hold on, y'all. All right. So, dictionary defines the Oxford Language Dictionary defines frustration as feeling or expressing distress and annoyance, especially because of inability to change or to achieve something. Meaning, I feel annoyed or irritated or in stress because I do not have the ability to change or achieve something. So when I read this, I said, oh, so ability just simply cancels frustration. Once you understand I have the ability, it is literally the antithesis, it's the opposite of frustration. So frustration will have you thinking, I can't. So what's the opposite of I can't? I can. Ability gonna tell you I can. So frustration will have you thinking that the answer to what you want to achieve is bigger than you. But when you realize a bit, when you think ability, I can, God already gave you the power to choose, make the right decisions, to do the right things, to change the way you think, to have a new mindset, to choose new things. God gave you the ability to do that. Frustration, when I read the definition, sounds reactionary. It sounds like, oh, we're gonna grab whatever's in front of us. We're gonna make desperate decisions. We're gonna quit because we frustrated. We're gonna take the easy way out. But ability though, ability says, oh, wait a minute. I have options. Like I don't have to be governed or ruled or driven by my feelings. Frustration sounds like this is happening to you. You don't have no power, right? When you're frustrated, this is happening to you. Ability says this is happening like through me. I have like something is happening. I've been trying to lose weight, but I have the strength to endure. I have the strength to overcome this. Frustration, it don't last for forever. Okay. Sometimes you're frustrated, sometimes you're not. Those feelings are fleeting. You're not always frustrated. Ability never goes away. It never goes away. Frustration is on and off. All right. So this is what I saw when I read the definition. Frustration can only overtake you when you forget that you have the ability. The moment you remember, oh, I can do this. Okay. Then frustration isn't quite as powerful. All right. And I'm telling you this, frustration doesn't go away because your situation has changed. It goes away when you remember what you are capable of. You already have what it takes. This is what I need you to see. You have the power to make different decisions. You have the power to keep going. You have the power to make a decision how the story gonna end. So every single time your capabilities, your ability is the like the medicine for your frustration. It's the vitamin. I'm gonna say vitamin because we don't do medicine. Okay. We don't do medicine. All right. So I just want you to know that you have the ability. Let me tell you how you know though. Because some of you are like, took it as you. I know you saying I have the ability, but I don't. I'm tired. I really don't feel like I have the ability. I want to tell you a couple of ways you can know for a fact you have the ability. One is you have proof in your life. If you just take a minute back and look back over your life and things you have done. You have done difficult and challenging things before. You have come through struggles. You have bounced back from failures. You have dusted yourself out after you didn't tripped and bust your face. You have handled responsibilities that people didn't think you could. There's evidence in your life. So if you have done that, you can do this. You didn't raise children. Okay. You have worked a full-time job. You have handled a house, showed up for everybody else, served your community, and you think you don't got no ability? Don't tell me you can do all these other things and not show up for you. I just refuse to believe it. All right. The other reason why I know and I need you to know that you have ability is because you can see it in your daily decisions. All right. You can see what you're capable of every time you make a decision, even if it's an itty bitty small decision. You chose to get on here and press play. You chose whatever it was that you ate today. You chose that. You chose whether to go for a walk or sit down. These little bitty choices are evidence that you had a power. All right. The fact that you got dressed today, ability. Okay. You are capable. The fact that you are here listening, you are capable. The ability. You have the capability of making the decision. You're already using it, right? You just have to point it in the right direction towards the right decisions. All right. Another reason why I know that you're able, all right, is because God gave us everything that we need. He gave us everything we need. Let me find my little scripture. Hold on. Let me find my little scripture. I be trying to remember it, but I don't want to butcher it up. Okay. I'm gonna read from the Amplified version. Okay. So you know they took it and make this up. Okay. So this is how I know you have the ability. Second Peter chapter 1, verse 3 says, by his divine power, God has given us everything we need for living a godly life. We have received all of this by coming to know him, the one who called us to himself by means of his marvelous glory and excellence. Keep going. It says, and because of his glory and excellence, he has given us great and precious promises. So, this is how I know. You're not waiting to get something, you just need to use it. God never intended for you to be without power. He really designed you to be strong. He say be strong. Be, Jesus' best example, be disciplined, be wise. So the ability is in you. You are capable because God put it there. It's already in you. All right. So listen, today we talked about how frustration in your weight loss journey and losing weight can make you desperate and choose desperate things, right? Uh, that you believe will get you to your outcome quicker, but they send you into a cycle that just keeps going round and round and round. Frustration can also make you quit, stop, and just shut it on down. And it can cause you to have damages that cannot irreparable damage that cannot be repaired. All right. So, because I've shared these three things with you, I want you to know that feeling of frustration, when we are experiencing it, it seems like it's nothing. It seems like it's harmless. But if you allow it to be, if you don't catch that thing and make it stop, it's going to cost you your health, your peace of mind, your time, your energy. All right. So you don't have to stay in that frustrated place. You don't have to be frustrated and say, you know what, I'm just going to choose to be here. God gave you the ability to do this the right way. So you don't need no Ozempic, no Mounjaro, no Wegovy, no skinny, whatever they calling the thing. You don't need no watermelon diet, no cabbage soup diet, whatever extreme things. All right. You don't need to starve yourself or whatever quick fix. Okay. Things you do need. Things I know you do need. You need some consistency in your life. All right. You need a framework to follow. Okay. You need some consistency. You need some accountability. You need some community support. All right. And this was the number one reason I learned this on my journey, that this was what people needed. And I said, you know what? I'm going to create a place where people can have the very things that I needed when I was on this journey. All right. And so it was then that I created my free community. This one don't cost anything. All right. And that's the Ready Set Habits Wellness Community. And it's a community where I do free monthly trainings every single month. I'm trying to find y'all some links. Give me a sec. The links will be in the description, though. I will put it in the description. Yeah, I gotta put it in the description because I don't have them handy. Or do I? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. I think I do have it. Hold on. Say join my free community. Hold on. Give me a second. Support. Yeah, it is so ratchet. I'm sorry. Should have been ready. All right. So I'm gonna do both communities. So I have a free community where I do a monthly training. All right. And then I have a premium VIP community where we see each other at least once a week and multiple times a week. And so in the VIP community, we have weekly accountability calls where you get personalized coaching from me. And then we have regular accountability calls multiple times during the week where we check in on each other and see just how we doing, okay? And we over here getting results, okay? So if either one of these, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm supposed to pin this somehow. Okay, if either one of these sound like something you need in your life, click the link. You probably have to copy and paste it. And that's all I got. Okay. So this is the reason why I created those communities. Next time I'm gonna have my links ready. Because I'm not sure if it's in the description or not. I think I did, but I didn't. So anyway, this is why I created the free community, the Ready Set Habits Wellness community, where we come together once a month and we talk about habits that work that you can implement in your life for free. We give you an encouragement to keep going, and we get rid of frustration. All right. So if you're serious about losing the weight and keeping it off, not just physically, but we talk about mental weight and spiritual weight, emotional weight, then you need to be in there. It's not going to cost you a thing. So I drop the link in the description. Go to www.readysethabits.com. And the link is right there in the chat. And if you know you need a higher level of accountability or support, go ahead and click the link for my VIP community. It's www.vip.readysethabits.com. And that community is $29 a month. And I'm telling you now, it is $29 a month for a limited time. I am telling you now, it is $29 a month for a limited time. We will not see $29 a month. It will be over before the year ends. Okay. And so the price will be going up, but if you lock in at $29, you'll be grandfathered before I implement some of the new changes that we'll have coming for this new season that we're in. So there's where you can get the community. Here's what I want you to do this week. In addition to joining my free or VIP community, I want you to ask yourself, where in my life am I allowing frustration to make the decision for me? And I want you to just pick one little itty bitty thing. All right. I don't know if it's going for a walk. I don't know if it's deciding to meal prep. I don't know if it's drinking your water. All right. And I want you to act like you have the ability. I want you to act like ability, your power, what you can do is the driver. Okay. I want you to act like you actually have the power that God gave you. Okay. Because the feeling of being upset and annoyed, especially because of inability to change or achieve something, is not you. Not saying you won't experience the feeling. You might. You might experience it, but it's going to go away. Your ability will not. It's going to go away. It's temporary. All right. So listen, guys, I love y'all to life. I might be right back on here, okay? Because I have a very important Shackley announcement. And I have a box, a big box to go through. So I'm probably about to log off of this live and do another live of my Shackley unboxing. I'll probably do that on all platforms because I have a big announcement that's only good until tomorrow. And so you have to move. All right, guys, listen, I absolutely love y'all to life. Listen, if there's any topics that you'd like to hear me discuss, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I will mull them over with the Holy Spirit, okay? And if I can, I will add it to the rotation, but I want to hear from you. All right, so drop in the chat what obstacles you're facing, what difficulties you're facing, but I need you to remember these three things. Like, you are not powerless. You are not, without the ability to decide. You're actually making a decision every single day of your life. You just have to change the types of decisions that you're making. And I can help you with that. All right. I love you to life, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday. What's today? Tuesday. I'll be back tomorrow and Thursday with parts 2 and 3. All right. Love you to life, and I will see you guys tomorrow.